Howdy, folks. I'm Repulsed Brian,
I'm Amber, I think. My
and
head's been blown.
and here's some repulsive Reddit.
Yeah, it's.
Amber just showed her head exploding off camera, but her head is still intact. I know there was no sound, but it was just a. All right, folks. Now, you might think he buried the lead here. You might think he didn't bury the lead here, but he did bury the lead on so many levels,
Yeah.
and there's just so much horribleness here. And let's just dig into it. Am I the jerk for using my dead wife's jewelry as a bribe to convince my daughter to come to see my fiance's baby shower? I'm a 52-year-old male, and my fiance, M, a 29-year-old female, are currently expecting our first child. M is currently 6 months pregnant, and she has been planning a baby shower with all of our nearest and dearest, which is due to be held next month. M has told me that she would love for my daughter, B, a 23-year-old female, to attend the shower, as she wants B to have a good relationship with her new sister, and some of the games that M has planned would work out better if B attended. However, B and M do not see eye to eye. B is very low contact with me and does not speak to me or interact with M unless there is an urgent need to do so because of a series of arguments that they had over the last few years. I reached out to B and her wife and asked if they would please consider coming to the party for my sake, but B flat out refused. And she did this very rudely, I might add, and called M some very unsavory terms via text. This really upset M, who was in tears for days, and the stress of our baby not having a relationship with her sister made her feel ill, and she was lying on the couch quietly shaking for hours at a time. She personally texted B. I had to give her B's number to do this and begged her to repeatedly please come, and then B blocked her. I was increasingly worried about M and wanted to convince B to come to the party, so I have very sentimental jewelry which once belonged to B's mother, my former wife, who sadly died many years ago. B was not aware that I and M actually have this jewelry, but it includes B's mother's engagement ring, which I had told her was lost. I messaged B and I told her that I have the jewelry, and if she agrees to do this one thing for me and comes to M's baby shower without pulling any stunts or theatrics, and she plays along with the games on M's special day, I'll give her the jewelry. B's wife then called me and told me that I was holding the jewelry hostage as a bribe and it did not belong to me. With the way that I've treated my dead wife's memory, she asked if I would be willing to give B the ring anyways as a gesture of goodwill, and I told her that that wasn't going to happen, and if they do not come to the party, then I will give the jewelry and the ring to M, who my dead wife would have loved. B and her wife have since called me and M selfish, and are still refusing to come to the party. M has taken my side and says that it was a fair trade-off, and she is still beside herself with illness over the party. However, my sisters and B's maternity family have been attacking me over this, and I am worried that I have permanently ruined my relationship with my daughter. All I wanted was for my unborn daughter to have a big sister to look up to and love. Am I the jerk? And folks, I wish that was it. I really sincerely wish that this was the whole thing. But unfortunately, there's more. And I'm not going to read all the comments because it would take us all night to read all of the comments, but I will give you the skinny, as the kids say these days. I don't think the kids say this. So, first off, OP met his fiance on a sugar baby's website. It's
Seeking arrangements?
yeah, Seeking Arrangements is what it's called. And on top of that, you might think, well, okay, well, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's certainly not whatever. People float their own boats, I guess, the way they'll do it. OP also dresses his fiance up in his dead wife's clothing and jewelry, and they have adult fun time pretending that she's basically the wife. And if that wasn't bad enough, then there's more. Apparently, the fiance and his daughter briefly, as OP puts it, had a physical only relationship years ago. Folks, this is just the worst after the worst after the worst. I sincerely hope this isn't real, because I just don't even know that I want to believe that there's someone out there who would possibly think that any of this at all, one of these, just one of these, period, would make somebody a jerk. But the accumulation of them is just the dumpster fire upon dumpster fire upon dumpster fire. I mean, it's a train full of dumpsters that has crashed, and they're all on fire. But that's not it. It has radioactive waste in the dumpsters, and that is also on fire. And now there's radioactive waste spewing into the atmosphere, and we're all probably going to die from it. So yeah, it's pretty terrible. Amber, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with OP is the jerk here on multiple levels. He also mentions in the comment that his daughter feels like he is replacing her with M and the new baby. It does seem like he wants his daughter to be like a picture. Like, he wants the picture perfect family. He's not concerned about his daughter's comfort or well-being. He just wants her to be here and not say anything so I can have this picture family for this day.
Yeah. Well, and then also, it's such a short-sighted plan, because once he gives up this jewelry, he's not going to see her ever again, right?
Right. You'd have to have a lot more stuff to keep this bribery going.
So much here to unpack. And again, I sincerely just hope that this is somebody's sick idea of a joke. I think that this is just a terrible situation on so many levels, and I really think OP needs to go into therapy, and needed to go into therapy a long time ago before getting into this relationship, because there's still apparently some pretty big unresolved issues, and this is also not going to be very fair to his wife here, right? And she's eventually going to probably not enjoy this kind of stuff eventually, right?
Yeah, well,
she's not going to want to play dress up as his dead wife forever.
I mean, if he's got enough money, she might be willing to put up with it for a while.
I guess so, for a little while. And I mean, this is again like sugar baby territory, so their relationship was based off of financial security to begin with. So she may just be fine with this as long as he can pay the bills. I think there are some pretty deep issues here. Everyone needs therapy.
Yeah.
Everyone involved needs therapy. There are no winners here.
No.
But OP is a jerk.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyhow, take care and good luck. I think we're all going to need it. Alright folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Comparing the House My Husband Showed Me to His Father's Beautiful One? I'm a 35-year-old female, and my husband is a 35-year-old male, and we've been married for a year. My father-in-law is a 60-year-old male, and is a respected architect in the area, and his real estate savvy combined with his wife's, my husband's stepmother, 54-year-old female, interior design expertise made the house that they live in a beautiful showstopper. Besides my husband, my father-in-law and his wife have 6 other kids between them, all of whom are married. All of the sons and daughters-in-law in the family constantly post my father-in-law's house on Instagram whenever they visit, as do I. My father-in-law gives every kid and stepkid some monetary support to buy their homes and cover their other expenses when they get married. However, I guess when you are dividing things by 7, even the biggest pot of money starts to look small, so the allowance that he gave us was mostly used up to cover rent, and it looked like we would be buying our house with no monetary support, which is hard in this market. I currently am a freelancer and my husband makes 5 figures, so I understand that we couldn't get a house exactly like my father-in-law's, but my time at my father-in-law's house gave me some standards that I communicated to my husband. My husband and I sort of compromised on a budget, and over the week we went to various listings. However, before that happened, a real estate friend of mine told me about this property that was about to go on market. It's in the area where my father-in-law bought his starter home when he was on the rise, and it was love at first sight for me. I could just imagine myself entertaining there, furnishing the house, and most of all, my father-in-law has a glass dome and sprawling ceilings in his house, and this house has the ceilings for the same effect. And I wanted that glass dome more than anything else. The problem here is that the house was $90,000 out of our set budget, and that was if nobody else was bidding. However, my husband had an inheritance from his mother, $30,000, of which he has been saving for years, and on the internet, a local mortgage loan officer said that a 22% mortgage could be given to us and we could always refinance. So we go to the showing of the house, and my husband said that there was a blend of mine and his expectations. He looked proud to have found the home, and when he turned to me after the tour, I had to tell him. I told him that it didn't measure up to his dad's house, and that I would regret every day that I lived in it. I said that we could afford the mini father-in-law mansion that was about to hit the market, and that if we didn't get that, I'd rather just build our own house because the house that he dragged me to had too low ceilings for what I wanted in a house. He got upset and said that he worked hard to increase his salary so he could buy a home that I liked, but I keep comparing every house to his dad's, and it's just not feasible. He said that his dad's money is not our money, and the house in question would put us deep in debt. I got upset and decided to walk away. Am I the jerk for communicating my admiration for my father-in-law's house and refusing to lower my standards? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, I think OP is being a jerk here and being very short-sighted. It's great to have a house that you love, but it's not great to stake your entire financial future on one purchase.
Yeah, I mean, that is it right there, the nuts and the bolts. OP, hopefully you mean a 22% down payment and not a 22% mortgage. Because if you mean a 22% APY for your mortgage, you will be sunk.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way you will dig yourself out of that debt. Do not get a mortgage that is 22%. That is just not worth it.
Well, and I also see this like the house is bad enough, but OP has this entertaining mindset. How much money have you budgeted for all the furnishings that, that will be needed to furnish this house? Like, I just see
Yeah.
this being an endless sprawling mess of, oh, well, we need to upgrade this and this and
Mm-hmm.
this, and we need new furniture for this room.
Yeah.
And, the important thing about a home is to have a place you can live in. Entertaining people is great. It's more important that you're financially secure.
Yeah, I think that there's a level of financial security here that you really need when you go into buying a house. And if you buy a house that's way over your budget, then you stand a good chance of losing that home.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose that home, you're not going to be able to entertain people, period, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to find a house that's actually with inside your budget. And if you can upgrade it somewhat and in a few years you sell it, that's generally how people kind of build equity into the market. And since you'll have been living in that house, any profits that you take from that house, as long as it's been 2 years since you lived into it, you'll actually take that profit. So that's a really good thing for people who are buying and selling houses, and that's going to help you build equity towards a larger, better home. Be very, very careful when it comes to interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Right now is not a good time to buy a house. The interest rates are very, very high. 22% seems unreasonably high. I would expect something in the 7 or 8% range, but if your credit is really bad, then that could be why they're saying 22%.
Mm-hmm.
If your real estate agent isn't looking out for your best interest. I know that they're supposed to be fiduciaries, but at the end of the day, they want to make as much money as they can, right?
Well, OP said that was an online loan officer, so we don't even know if it's a reputable loan company they're talking to.
And I wouldn't imagine so if they're offering a 22% mortgage interest rate. So there's a lot wrong here. Don't sink yourself over a house. You can entertain in the future. You just have envy right now. Envy will do you no good if you're starving.
What is more important to you? Having a fancy house or having a home where everyone is happy and enjoys each other?
Yeah.
Because if you just want a fancy house, then OP could just get a divorce and marry someone really rich. Financial issues are the biggest cause for strife in marriages, and if you sink yourself in this house that your husband doesn't really want, do you want this beautiful house where you wake up every morning to a partner who's resenting you because you're never going to crawl your way out of this debt?
I mean, I think that's a really good point. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Momentarily Locking My Daughter Out of Our Hotel Room? Last summer, I, a 34-year-old male, went on vacation to Nice, France with my wife, a 32-year-old female, and our 5-year-old daughter, Jennifer, using fake names here, of course. One day during our vacation, we arrived back at our hotel only to find out that we had been a victim of fraud. My wife and I looked into it, and the damage appeared to be substantive. Tension started running high while my wife and I were trying to figure out how to solve this issue, and Jennifer wasn't helping matters. She just kept acting like a normal 5-year-old making a racket. So, just to help us think more clearly, I gently led Jennifer out into the hallway, and once she was outside of our room, I locked the door. She was quiet for a few minutes, but after that she started knocking and eventually banging on the door, and actually began crying and begging to be let back in. We kept her locked outside of our room for about 10 minutes. When I opened the door to let Jennifer back in, she immediately hugged me. Poor thing. Am I the jerk? What? Come on. Really? What? No. What do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, I think Opie's the jerk. I understand this was an upsetting situation for him and his wife, but he has a 5-year-old child who they still, like, you can't just stop being a parent when it's inconvenient. And leaving a child in a hotel hallway in a strange area, like, just seems like a recipe for potential kidnapping.
Do you love your daughter? Like, do you like her? Because it sure doesn't seem like you do. Seems like you were just kind of setting her out there into the open, being like, fend for yourself, kid. We're going to lock you out. OP, don't do this. I just hope this is another fake post, because I don't even know how much more I can handle of this kind of stuff today.
I know. It's like there are two adults. One person could have looked into the fraud while the other person looked after the child.
Yeah.
Like,
take your daughter for a walk while one of you figures out what's to do from there, right? You're adults, you can figure stuff out. If you wanted to handle the situation, just tell your wife to go and take Jennifer for a little bit of a walk while you sort things out, and then that would have been that. There's just no need at this point in time to lock your daughter out of the room, and doing so was pretty cruel, I think. A 5-year-old isn't going to understand why mommy and daddy are locking her out of the room.
mm-hmm.
And again, 5 is not old enough kind of to really look after herself for an extended period of time. And yeah, I mean, I know it was just for 5 minutes, but that still seems like a really bad idea in a strange hotel in a strange country. Anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I have a tea right here. And as you can see, there is 3 options today. There are 3 options today. Earl Grey, Mega Mint, and the mystery tea. So I decided to come clean yesterday, as you all know, and actually have 3 teas for a selection. So you get to guess which one I am drinking. I really drank that tea.
What do planets like to read?
Planets like to read ancient scrolls of magic and mystery. They use it to keep their cores spinning. They like to read exercise books because they like to keep their cores spinning. There's something about planets being round. They like to read cookbooks because it keeps them round. I don't know. What?
Comet books.
No, they don't. That's ridiculous. No one likes comet books. And I have a mystery tea. In this one, I'm not gonna take another sip of it at the moment here. I will. I'll tell you how it tastes. It's a honey lavender tea called Stress Relief, and it's a soothing serenity blend. Let me. It's not good. It's certainly not good. I had a sip of it earlier today. I was kind of actually a little excited about it. And I'm not anymore. You think honey lavender? How could that go wrong? I don't know. It tastes awful. Don't buy this tea, please. For everyone's sake, don't buy this tea. I thought the fennel teas were terrible. I I I don't even know what they've done to it. It just is awful. I'm trying to get a sense for you. Okay, it tastes like floral, and then it tastes terrible. It's got some kind of like after flavor to it that almost is like minty but sweet. I think it's like this. You said stevia, isn't it?
There's stevia in
Or
it, yeah.
stevia in it. I'll read you, instead of drinking more of it, I'll read you the ingredient list here. Organic rubiose leaf, organic chamomile flower, organic lemon balm leaf, organic lemongrass, organic spearmint leaf. I thought I tasted mint. Organic peppermint leaf, organic lavender flower, organic sage leaf, organic passion flower extract, organic lavender flower, organic lemon myrtle flower, organic stevia leaf, organic vanilla flavor, and organic honey flavor. The lavender isn't even like the first thing on this tea. I'm usually fine with Rubio's teas. I've had Rubio's teas before, and usually they're okay.
Yeah, well, the cotton candy tea from David's Tea is Rubio's.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just too many flavors going on here. There's a lot going on with this tea, and it just does not come out well at all. So if you want to torture yourself, if you're like, hey, I'm masochistic, I enjoy torturing myself, buy this tea. You'll enjoy it. I assure you. This will probably be my last time having this tea, though, because it is not a very good tea. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Amber, what is the moral of this story? And I'll let you make a moral for story 1. Why not? 1.
I mean, there are so many morals you could give to this one. I'm just gonna go with don't marry your child's ex. I think that's one moral we can take away, and a very sound one that's pretty much always applicable.
Yeah, I think that's always applicable. The T has really messed me up here. And also, don't blackmail people.
Yeah.
Don't bribe people.
Yeah.
Don't force people into relationships they don't want.
Right.
Don't marry someone that's the age of your daughter. I don't know. There's just so many things you can take away from that one. I think I'm choking on the radioactive dust. So. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.